Welcome, Taurus, to your reading. This is a general reading for October 2017 for the sign of Taurus, sun, moon, rising, any other planetary sign, aspect, or anything like that that you feel very strongly connected to. And I think specifically you should check out maybe your moon sign. And if you don't know what your moon sign is, your rising sign and all that, I'll put a link below where you can find that stuff out. Okay, so let's get started. There's a sort of a maternal vibe this month. Maternal, caring, could be an amorousness, right? Caregiving, that kind of thing. And an indication of either a sort of a renewed sense of amorousness. I don't know, I already said that, but whatever. A renewed sense of amorousness with somebody or towards yourself or something like that even. But a renewed kind of sense of love for somebody or something. And also, along with that, sort of an indication of some stubbornness, some martyring of oneself, some feeling like, well, I gave this and this and this and that kind of thing, and feeling very proud of yourself for it, right? Or somebody is feeling very proud of themselves for the amount of sort of attention that they've been putting in. But there's a little bit of a refusal to kind of look at things from another perspective also, right? It's very stubborn kind of energy in a sense. Not really super open, but giving, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and it has a warm and a maternal vibe to it. But also kind of a closed off, and that may be as well a reconfiguration, recalibration of what you sort of are seeking from a relationship, right? Or seeking from relationships in general, or something like that too. A sort of a renewed strength and sense and a new kind of definition of what some of these things mean, things that are relative to your relationships and your care that you give into your relationships, and the care that you give to yourself, and the care that you get out of relationships and things like that. And how and what are your standards, and what are your ideals, and what are you willing to compromise and not compromise, kind of thing. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of compromise in here, but I am seeing a sense of you or somebody feeling like they give a lot, right? Feeling like they give a lot, and that entitles them to certain things back, right? As well it should, I guess. But like I said, there is sort of a martyring kind of thing too, as far as like giving, but perhaps maybe giving some things that weren't necessarily asked for, and then expecting something in return, kind of thing. Maybe sort of indicated as well. But I'm definitely getting a bit of a newness and a renewed sense of warmth and energy going towards this, a relationship of some kind. And like I said, that can be a relationship with yourself as well. It can have to do with self-care also. So yes, I'm going to pick these up and put some more cards down and get some advice for you guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, Taurus, I'm back with your advice, and I feel like every time I give you advice, it's just like, yes, keep doing what you're doing. And this is kind of similar to that. It's very much, try to avoid the mindset of being sort of high and mighty, right? Of thinking like, well, I've given all this and given all that, and feeling like you're maybe above some things, but don't give up this idea of self-importance, right? And standards for yourself and that kind of thing. Don't give up on that, right? You want to kind of keep on that track, and remember that it's okay to change your mind, right? It's not, it's just, you just can change your mind. Whatever. It's like fine to change your mind, right? You can define for yourself what your standards are, what your needs are, what your limits are, and your capabilities, and that kind of thing. And those things can change, and that's okay. And you can also release some things, right? There's all kinds of things you can release, whether it's in your external life or just within yourself or whatever. There's all kinds of things that you can let go of, and that's okay. And things also in that vein that you can hold on to, and that's okay, right? Standards and things that maybe other people are questioning, those are okay to continue to have. And it doesn't have to come with this idea of, you have to have an ultimate definition for what you want, right? In such a way that it's a perfectly well-rounded thing that you're going to kind of present to the world, and that's your kind of perfect, like, this is me, here I am, like I'm my perfect little idea on a platter. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. It can be a little bit disjointed and whatever, as long as it's authentic, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it definitely wants you to kind of keep away from this unrealistic kind of thinking, any kind of unrealistic thinking, but to not let that bleed into being a pushover and releasing your ideals and stuff like that. It's just about being realistic and being smart about things, and seeing that everyone has their ideals, and everyone has their specific quirks and their little things, and changes their mind. Some people change their mind more often, and that's okay. And once I think you allow yourself to see yourself as, this sounds strange, but to see yourself as flawed, as flawed as other people may appear to be, then you also kind of can release yourself up to be as flawed as other people are, right? To be as sort of wishy-washy or confused or something like that as you want or you need to be, in order to kind of discover some things. You don't have to have everything sort of nailed down, and it also doesn't have to fit a specific mold or a specific kind of idea that you've been running with. You can open yourself up a little bit more than that, I think. Well, like I said, still holding on to yourself, right? Not being a pushover or being a doormat. You don't want to kind of release that self-importance. You want to hold on to that, but you want it to be a humble kind of one, and that's going to allow you also to be more free to make decisions and things that are more authentic and less idealistic, if that makes any sense. So yeah, and as I said, don't be afraid to kind of release some old definitions and things that you've had in the past. That's fine. It's fine. You can replace them with new definitions or not, or whatever. You can get rid of parts of them, keep parts of them. It's all up to you, right? It's not as like structured as it kind of has to be, and especially if you're somebody who is really holding on to maybe some ideas of what your place is within a relationship or within a dynamic with others and that kind of thing, that maybe you don't have to always be in that certain place, right? Maybe you can be different sometimes or whatever, and kind of play with that. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. If it was, let me know. Subscribe, like this video, and share it and all that kind of stuff. Yes, thank you for watching. Bye.